Yo, what is up, my fellow crayon-eating titans? It's your boy D2 Titans Only, and today I am bringing you an absolutely insane Stasis Titan build. This build is a ton of fun, and you will be absolutely indestructible while obliterating everything around you. The premise of this build is creating a huge amount of stasis crystals, freezing your enemies, and smashing into them to create stasis shards, and gain frost armor. This build really excels in onslaughts and areas where there are a lot of enemies that you can smash into. Let's jump into our subclass. We are going to be running the Behemoth Titan with the one and only Glacial Quake Super. Anytime we get into a pinch, we are going to use Glacial Quake to create a ton of stasis crystals and shatter them to take out our enemies and gain frost armor in the process. For our abilities in this build, we are going to be running Rally Barricade, which is going to assist with reloading and giving us some temporary cover to avoid enemy damage. Best in-class Titan Jump, Strafe Lift, Glacial Grenade so we can freeze our enemies and create more stasis crystals to smash, and Shiver Strike, which we will be utilizing to destroy any stasis crystals or enemies we see. Next, let's jump into our aspects. Our first aspect is Tectonic Harvest. Tectonic Harvest is going to create a stasis shard for any crystal we smash, and any stasis shard we pick up will give us frost armor and melee energy, which is going to make us extremely tanky and allow us to smash any alien we want. The other aspect we are using is Howl of the Storm. Howl of the Storm is going to allow us to activate our charge melee while sliding, but instead of meleeing, it's going to throw up a wave of stasis energy that freezes targets and creates stasis crystals. Yes, these crystals also smash into other crystals and explode. Moving on to our fragments, we are going to be emphasizing not dying and ensuring every stasis crystal is exploding. Our first fragment is the Whisper of Fissures. The Whisper of Fissures is going to increase the damage and size of the stasis burst on any crystal or frozen target we destroy. Basically, stasis go boom. The next fragment we are using is the Whisper of Conduction. The Whisper of Conduction is going to help out our stat rolls and grant us 10 resilience and 10 intellect. Whisper of Conduction is also going to track any stasis shard within 15 meters to our position after a 1 second delay, ensuring that we get tanky and unkillable as fast as possible. Our third fragment is the Whisper of Bonds. Whisper of Bonds is going to allow us to generate orbs of power when we defeat frozen enemies. And with the armor mods we will be pairing this with later on in the build, we will constantly have our abilities up and off cooldown. And the last fragment we are running is the Whisper of Rime. This fragment is going to increase our frost armor's maximum count and duration, allowing us to be an unkillable tank for an extended period of time. Now that we've talked about the subclass, let's move into the weapons we are using to synergize with this build. The first weapon we are opting for is this season's Stasis Grenade Launcher, the Liturgy. For the perks on this weapon, we want to roll Chill Clip and Rime Stealer. Chill Clip is going to allow direct hits with this weapon to slow our enemies, and Rime Stealer is going to grant us a stack of frost armor anytime we destroy a stasis crystal or frozen enemy with this weapon. The Liturgy synergizes really well with the stasis crystals exploding and can clear any room when used correctly. For our secondary weapon, we are going to be using the Old Faithful, the Callous Mini Tool. Crafted with enhanced perks of Incandescent and Unrelenting, Incandescent synergizes really well with Stasis by scorching frozen targets and creating bigger explosions with our ice crystals, while Unrelenting is going to create health regeneration upon killing enough targets, giving us a higher survivability and longevity while we are in the fight. And last but not least, for our heavy weapon, we are going to be using the exotic grenade launcher Salvation's Grip. Salvation's Grip has an intrinsic trait called Cryo Cannon. Cryo Cannon allows us to charge the weapon and shoot it, creating a pattern of stasis crystals on impact, which also freezes enemies on impact. Salvation's Grip has a weapon perk called Shatter Shot, and Shatter Shot allows uncharged shots from Salvation's Grip to deal extra damage to stasis crystals and frozen targets, making this weapon great for high DPS against bosses and ad clear. And it absolutely makes all the stasis crystals explode. For our stat rolls, you're going to want 100 resilience so we can be as tanky as possible, 100 strength so we can utilize our Shiver Strike, and of course get your discipline as high as possible as well so we can freeze as many enemies as possible with our Glacial Grenade. Jumping into our armor mods, for our helmet, we're going to be running Heavy Ammo Finder, Harmonic Siphon, and Solar Siphon, so we can find heavy ammo and generate orbs of power with our Rapid Weapon Final Blow. For our gauntlets, we are going to be running Heavy-Handed and Firepower, which will allow us to create orbs of power on grenade and melee final blow. And for our exotic piece of armor, we are going to be running the new Titan exotic, the Blast Wave Striders. Blast Wave Striders is going to grant us resistance to our own explosives and allow us to charge a blast wave by defeating targets. Once it's fully charged, we can activate this explosion by sliding or dealing explosive damage to ourselves. This then lets us rocket jump backwards and blast deadly shrapnel projectiles that spawn stasis crystals on impact. Charged rocket jump will also grant frost armor and make us tanky and keep us alive. For our armor mods on this item, we are going to be running Better Already, which will grant us health regeneration upon picking up an orb of power, and Absolution in the 2 other slots to assist with reducing our ability cooldowns every time we pick up an orb of power. And for our class item, we are going to be running Distribution in 2 slots to allow for ability cooldown reduction anytime we use our class ability near enemies, and Outreach to reduce our melee cooldown anytime we use our class ability near enemies. Now that we've got our class put together, let's talk about the seasonal artifact mods that are must-have. For our modifications, we want to ensure we are utilizing 1 with Frost. While Frost Armor is active, Stasis weapons gain increased reload and stability. Crystalline Converter. Gather Stasis Shards to gain stacks of Crystalline Converter. Your next powered melee will create Stasis Shards equal to the number of stacks you have. Armor of Aramis. While Frost Armor is active, taking critical damage from combatants will cause you to emit a freezing burst. Hail the Storm. Shattering stasis crystals release shards of ice that damage and slow targets. And Brain Freeze. Frozen combatants become surrounded by chilling fog, which slows combatants that aren't already slowed. I hope you guys enjoyed this build as much as I have, and if you stayed around this long, please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and stay frosty. And as always, peace!